What if I said you could build a clean, high-tier looking CS2 loadout using only skins under $10? No battle-scarred trash, just underrated play skins. Today I've picked 3 affordable skins for each of the 10 most used weapons in CS2, all under $10. Timestamps are below if you're hunting something specific, but I'd recommend watching through because there are a few hidden gems in here that most players have never seen before. Starting with the USP-S, we have the Tropical Breeze. Bold green colors, super clean. It's from the Boreal collection, so it's still an active drop, but this keeps it cheap at just $2 in min wear and $3.40 for factory new. It's an insanely clean option. Next up, the USP-S Black Lotus in minimal wear. The factory new version is a little pricey, but min wear at $3.17 looks pretty much identical. The pattern just gets slightly darker. It's also from the discontinued Riptide collection, which means the long term there may be potential for price growth. I actually ran this in my own loadout for years, as I really love the design. Finally, we have the Cyrex, an absolute classic skin family for those who have been around for a while. Released all the way back in 2016. $8.75 for factory new, and an iconic skin. Before we continue, this video's sponsor, SkinSwap, is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free whenever you do your first trade and use my referral code. If you want to refresh your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a couple of seconds. Plus, the new Chinese markets feature lets you purchase cheap skins from Chinese sites directly, without the need for a Chinese ID or bank account. They accept deposits via crypto, MasterCard, and Visa. If you need to cash out, SkinSwap makes that simple too, with instant sell options to PayPal or crypto. On top of that, they run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, with the chance to earn extra tickets simply by trading. Use my link or referral code for a 3% lifetime sales bonus and a free skin worth up to $50. Big thanks to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. Next, let's go to the Glocks. The Ocean Topo has a minimalist, clean design, but under $1, it is an absolute steal. The Coral Bloom from the Radiant collection has to be one of my favorite skins from 2025. It's highly detailed, and I'm not saying it's Wild Lotus level, but for around $4, it's an insane pickup. Plus, lol, grandma. I also wanted to include skins that feature some rare patterns for those of you who appreciate the smaller details. The Glock Moonrise at $3.22 has a few patterns where a star appears next to the grip on the slide stop lever. The more central, the better. On screen now are some of the pattern numbers for the tier 1 patterns, essentially where the entire star is visible. If you can find any of these patterns for cheap, it's a nice little flex for just a few dollars that even other collectors will appreciate. Despite having an inventory worth thousands for years, I chose to run the Desert Eagle Corinthian for quite a while. It's got a great level of detail and looks even better in CS2 with the lighting. When I was trying to run a mostly yellow and gold loadout with lots of skins from the Anubis collection and a kind of Arabic mythology theme, this was a perfect fit and only set me back $1.15. The Deagle Mulberry actually wears pretty well, so although it goes for $30 in factory new, you can pick it up in field tested for around $6. Plus, for a little overpay, but still under $10, you could find one with a sub 0.2 float, which looks even better. Super clean and a beautiful shade of purple. Finally, the Desert Eagle Tilted in factory new from the Overpass 2024 collection is bright and stands out without a big price tag, currently selling for $2.33. And given I find it likely this will be discontinued from the armory soon, it could see some price growth in the months to come. Moving on to the last pistol for this video, the P250. The Sedimentary is the cheapest skin in the entire video at just 24 cents, but carries a beautiful, subtle pattern. I genuinely think the Vino Primo is one of the best skins in the game, regardless of price. The fact that it's so cheap is just a matter of supply, given it's part of the 2018 Inferno collection that was in the active drop pool for years. You can pick it up in minimal wear for just $2.85. The P250 Visions is one of those instantly recognizable skins. It's a flurry of bold, bright colors, but for those who have never looked closely, there's actually an eagle, snake, flower, and woman's face hidden amongst the chaos. When this skin was released, I wasn't a big fan, to be honest, but I've come to appreciate it a lot more recently. And at $5.45 in min wear, I think it's a great deal. At this point, you might also be wondering where I'm getting these skins at such great prices. And I'm simply going onto SkinSwap's market tab and taking the cheapest listings from there. They're a long-term sponsor of the channel, but I genuinely love this site, so check them out via the link in the description. Of course, I want to mention that this video is not professional financial advice. CS2 skins are virtual items and can be highly volatile. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so please do your own further research and consider your financial position before making any decisions. For the M4A1Ss, the glitch paint design actually suits the slight wear. This is another skin that has a ton of different pattern combinations, offering up distinct color palettes depending on what you prefer. I remember about 6 months back spending an entire afternoon checking out all the different patterns when I discovered this skin, as I thought they were pretty cool. $8.07 in minimal wear. If you've already picked up the USP-S Black Lotus, you might consider its matching M4 skin. Just $7.12 in field tested, it's one of the most detailed designs at this price point. Finally, we have the M4A1S Liquidation from the Genesis terminal. Hot Rod heat stickers look great on this one with a blue base and red accents, super sleek, or even slick some might say, for $7.17 minimal wear. Moving on to the M4A4s, I definitely wanted to include the Tooth Fairy. I think it's got one of the most unique color schemes out of all skins in the game, and a ton of detail. Handwritten inscriptions, human teeth, insects. It's creepy and distinct at $6.17 in minwear. Next up, we have the Sheet Lightning, a beautiful gold body covered in lightning strikes. It's bold and the gold really stands out. Just $6 once again in minimal wear, and a great option. If you still want some gold but perhaps a bit more subtle, I recommend the Spider Lily in field tested. Once again, Riptide collection, which offers up good prospects for price appreciation long term, currently going for $7.83. And as a bonus pick, you can make a budget Howcraft with an M4A4 converter and 5 stickers for just a couple of dollars. Next, let's go on to the AKs. The factory new Wintergreen goes for just $9.73, is super clean and shiny, and is a great base for sticker crafts. Honestly, I think the Boreal, Ascent, and Radiant collections added a number of really solid skins last year, and I definitely suggest taking a look at their full lineups, as you might be surprised by some of the options there. The Ice Cold in Minwear is another solid pickup for a similar price, coming in at $8.81, a distinct color scheme that Valve seemingly enjoys, as they more recently added the AWP Ice Cold to the Genesis terminal, meaning we may see future iterations of this skin as well. Finally, I'm including a skin that took a while to grow on me, the Minwear Phantom Disruptor from the Prisma 2 case. At first, I wasn't too impressed, but over time the subtle details and colors of the design have changed my mind. $9.71 for this one. Let's move on to the AWP skins, starting with one I actually run in my own current loadout, the Mortis. At only $5.77 min wear, I think it's beautiful. Inspired by the Death Tarot card, it features a horse skeleton and the Grim Reaper on the buttstock, and I'm a sucker for some Roman numerals. Next up is another skin that will be appreciated by those of you who like unique floats and patterns, the Black Nile. While the factory new version sells for around $24 and appears like black gunmetal, high float battle scarred versions become bronze at just $3.65. You could also get souvenir versions under $10, which could have some beautiful sticker combos. The Atheros depicts an African viper in shades of blue and green, with scales dispersed throughout the rest of the design. I think this is a fan favorite for budget skins, going for just $5.30. For the FAMAS, let's start with the minimal wear rapid eye movement at $7. Instantly recognizable and highly unique. I currently run this with some Imperial Plaids, and it looks incredible. The Eye of Athena represents the Greek goddess of wisdom, strategy, and warfare, depicted in this skin as an owl with a mechanical eye. Minwear comes in just above our threshold at $11.35, but a low float field tested can be found around the $6 or $7 mark. To contrast the highly detailed Athena, I've also suggested the Valence, if you instead want a sleek, geometric design in a futuristic style. $8.56 for minimal wear. To finish off the video, we'll cover the Galils. This one was admittedly quite tricky, as there weren't a lot of options, but I've decided to go with the Sky Mandala in factory new to begin. Highly pattern based, there's once again a ton of options to explore at just a $5 price point. The Crimson Tsunami reminds me of the famous Japanese painting, The Great Wave of Kanagawa. While there are varying patterns here, the main wave is visible in just about every pattern I looked at, so it's easy to find a good one. And factory new sells for just $8.14. And last but not least, the Blue Titanium to me is simply a budget blue phosphor. It looks absolutely incredible in the rain, and you can pick it up for $6.24. Now, if you want to see my ranking of 15 of the best CS2 money making methods, be sure to check out this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.